Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach today. I hope you are doing fantastic. It's JB, super pumped you're with me. It's October 7th, 2024. It is a Monday and we are ready to go. Episode 5477, and we've got a good one for you. We're going to get off the week started well with some good energy, and as you know, it's all about structure, making sure you're moving that ball forward. That 1% a day is so important. Working that plan, our metaphysical morning ritual, taking some time for self-care. Can't tell you how important that is. Listen to this coach guest, getting your mind right in the morning, and then get those 7 P's working. Get some perspective and priorities this morning. It can change everything. Literally, change everything. And again, if you want to keep things the same, that's fine. If things are rolling, just keep rolling. But if you just want to keep performing at the highest level, then we want to keep working to perform. And again, number 3, focus on improved performance, and that's what we're doing today. Got a great topic. We're going to get a little deep this week. We're going to talk about metaphysics. Many of you know that, I did my bachelor's, which I was okay in. I really had trouble paying attention. I was real young when I did my, obviously, bachelor's degree, and then I went into my MBA, and that was more, I like the higher level courses or grad school because you're doing specific things. So I did my master's in business administration, and then I went on to do a PhD in metaphysics, which is a branch of philosophy. And it's really understanding the fundamental nature of reality and existence. And so I've studied the world's religions and really got into philosophy and ideas and thoughts about time, psychological time, and then psychology. So really a great journey from traditional education sense. But I also really learned a lot and, from my non-education and just, studying for years and years and years and years. And the metaphysical background is something that I'm very proud of and that I love. In fact, if you're new and you're in the community, as a member, we do have a metaphysical group, but you got to apply to get in there. We do some unique topics in there. We're going to be expanding that a little bit. If you want to get involved with that, just send us an email, info@morningcoach.com, or you'll find information in the community on the metaphysical idea. Okay, so we're going to get into that this week. Today, we're going to talk about what is metaphysics and how does it affect your life? What does that mean? Tomorrow, we're back to the book study, and I'm loving this book, Set Boundaries and Find Peace. We're going to have fun with that. We're going to start getting through the next couple chapters. On Wednesday, we got the law of attraction. Is it myth or reality? What is this thing? And are we living in a simulation? We're going to have some fun on Wednesday. We're going to talk a little deep about that. On Thursday, I've got an Ask JB on structure and what do I do at the end of the day. So we're going to talk about the Hemingway method a little bit. And we're making some changes to the 2025 planner, actually having a section for Hemingway, which I'm excited about. And I'll talk to you about that on Thursday. Friday, we've got our allowing cash flow in and lack versus prosperity thought. What do we do there? And then Saturday, obviously, Dr. Paul's been rocking it. Sunday, we got finding peace in the moment. So I've really got some really great topics this week, and we're going to get a little bit deeper, like I said, and get into this. Now, there are some meetups rolling. Make sure you go. There's a business brunch with Karen. Again, check these times. I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. We are putting all kinds of meetups up. They're getting bigger. People are showing up. We've got circles so you can talk in between them. If you get a chance, go in the community, and they're just community-driven, really awesome meetups. And, it's awesome when you're not the smartest person in the room on particular topics, and I can tell you I'm not. So it's, I'm a metaphysician. I can tell you my expertise is productivity, metaphysics, and then helping people with residual and passive income. Those are my targets. And then when you get in some of this stuff like Des and internet security, him and Jurgen, and you've got Karen and her business background and where she comes from, and Lori, social media, and Alistair doing his stuff. There's just a lot of people. Haley, who's doing her coffee chats and just kind of going through her business, and John in Japan. There's really great people doing really cool things. All I got to do is stop by. So just look in the meetup area and swing by at some point so you can meet some of the wonderful people. Okay, let's get into today's topic, and we're going to talk about metaphysics. So what is metaphysics? Well, metaphysics is a branch of philosophy. I meant that. And I mentioned that. And the idea is the fundamental nature of reality, existence, and the nature of things beyond what we can perceive with our senses, meaning it deals with questions about what exists, the nature of how time and space, that type of thing, the nature of consciousness. Essentially, metaphysics seeks to understand the underlying principles that govern the universe and our place within it. Why are we here? And that's what I've studied for years and years and years and years. And it encompasses a lot of things, right? So as I mentioned, it encompasses like spirituality and, why are we here, and creation. It encompasses quantum mechanics and physics as we study matter and understand why that's there. So how does it affect your life? Why would we even want to have this as a concept? Why would you even want me as a coach who is a metaphysician and has studied this for years and years and years? Well, number one is that metaphysics really influences the way you look at the world, okay, and your place in it. So the nature of reality, is it purely physical? Is it a simulation? How do you approach life? How do you make decisions? How do you find meaning? So it's a really deeper aspect. So when we talk about number one on our morning, ritual, I bring it to a productive state because, again, we work with companies and organizations, as you know, but at the individual level, it's really about how do you perceive the world? How do you perceive where you're at? What is your consciousness? And those are some deep questions. And that's why I love the Morning Coach community, because we have the most intelligent community, because we attract people that are looking for deeper aspects of things. In fact, if you look at the makeup of Morning Coach, we have a lot of left brainers, a lot of engineers, a lot of very intelligent people that are going, hey, can I look at this other side of things? Like if you had a chance to go up in the community, you'll see Jurgen's been posting Daily Spiritual now for a couple years. And Jurgen is this really genius left brain software engineer, security engineer. And he wanted to, let me go into this spiritual way, which I love intelligent people that are always opening their mind and broadening their thoughts to take a look at things. Not that you agree with everything, but intelligent people are always looking at different aspects. So one of the things that metaphysics does for us is it allows us to step back and take a look at our world and go, okay, where do we fit in it? And that ultimately leads to more joy, and it can lead to suffering too if you feel like, man, this darkness. But if you're following Morning Coach, we're going to help you expand your consciousness to find more joy and live your best life, okay? And it's much deeper than just going to an event and going, rah, 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 I'm excited, I got some goals, let's go hit them. Morning Coach is a much deeper system for a much intellectually stimulating system. And again, as I always say, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I have skills that come, and I believe, that are channeled and also brought from somewhere else. I never take credit, but there's obviously a reason I've been able to do 5,477 these, and it's not me. So there is some aspect of energy that comes through, and I believe that's what you're getting, and why Morning Coach is important. It's not about me. It's about you and the message you need to hear. And as people who have been with me for years will say, sometimes it seems like there's a camera in the room when I'm mentioning a particular topic. And it's just not me. Like, it's coming through, so you're hearing what you need to hear. So metaphysics is really understanding that idea, and then it helps to shape your worldview and your perception of the world, which is really, really important. The next thing it does is when you start to understand life, then all of a sudden we start thinking about ethical and moral decisions, right? So metaphysical beliefs underpin ethical and the moral framework. So if someone believes in free will, they might say personal responsibility is essential. Conversely, if they believe in determinism, they might view life events as preordained. So you might judge right and wrong a little differently in that. So again, these are deeper aspects of belief and your core belief system that we need to look at. And what do you believe in? And I'm a big free will person, okay? And that's why I'm huge in individual responsibility. So understanding you as a human being and your upbringing has a lot to do with this. It really affects your decisions. And as you know, as you're making decisions, is what's going to happen in your life. You come to a road and you go, okay, I go this way or that way. That's a big decision in life. And we've got our decision-making model, right? And planner, right? But when you make that decision, it can affect everything. So metaphysics is a very important part of coaching and understanding the way you look at things. And that's what's hard for me when I deal with a lot of other coaches, because they just don't get deep enough. When they're helping people with their decision-making, it's like, wait a minute, we need to understand the person, the being, and their consciousness level. And that's some deep stuff, right? It's very deep. But once we understand that, we can start to help somebody with their decision making, and that's why working with a metaphysician or somebody that understands the deeper aspects of life can look at your background, understand where you're at in the world, and we are definitely international. Understand your religious, spiritual background, if you have one or not, and then also understand kind of your belief system and what you're feeling, because that's going to take part in the way you set your goals and your mission and everything. So it's really important we understand that. And again, just mention it, spiritual and religion is another part of metaphysical ideas, concepts like the soul, afterlife, the existence of a higher power. Those are metaphysical in nature. So these beliefs guide individuals, really, how you live your lives, you seek purpose, and how you cope with life's challenges. Somebody that's really, as I always say, I have belief that the greater good is conspiring for me, is going to handle situations much easier than somebody that is, just very casually says there isn't anything. An atheist says, I don't believe in anything. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going, well, the greater good is conspiring for me, and the atheist is going, well, I'm just going to die. There's a big difference right there, okay? And we have atheists here, so we don't judge. Like, it's your personal belief system that we're working with, and you need to know what that is, because it's going to determine how you seek purpose and determine your life challenges. I do believe there's certain things that are better. For me, to live my best life, I love having the greater good on my side, right? I love that belief that the greater good is conspiring for me. I think that belief serves me, where I think an atheistic viewpoint typically doesn't serve you. But again, it just depends on you. This is all individual stuff, and why we're so deep in our coaching systems, right? Because it's why it takes time. Like when I say be patient, because you're discovering you. And nobody's doing this. Like, there's this work that we're doing is so deep. And as you discover you can start to figure out the mission. So when I talk about the tactical mission, it's about discovering you and what you want, and really what the purpose you want to serve. And that's peeling back the onion a lot to get to that core. And that takes some work. Okay. We continue. Personal identity and consciousness. So we question consciousness and self-identity and how you see yourself. That's what I'm talking about. So as a metaphysician, we need to know what the self is in the mind, your self-perception, your mental health, your interpersonal relationships. This is all part of metaphysics. So, and I don't talk a lot about it here at, a Morning Coach. I don't talk all the time about what we do. This is an important part of what the difference is of what we do. So it's important we know that. We also look at science and technology, and metaphysical concepts often shape scientific inquiry. So we question about nature and time and space and reality, physics and other sciences. Metaphysics can influence technology, and we really can look at, especially AI and artificial intelligence, virtual reality. We're in those worlds as a metaphysician, okay? And finally, in summary, it can seem abstract. Metaphysical ideas can seem abstract, but it profoundly influences a lot of aspects of life, from personal belief and ethics to scientific exploration to societal norms. Metaphysical concepts can provide a deeper insight into your own life and the world around you, and that's what's so critical about what we're doing here at Morning Coach. The difference, and I really believe that is what makes us different than everybody else, is because we're focused on deeper aspects of life. I always say there's a method to the madness of what we do. A lot of people come in there and say, oh, it's just, I love the planner. It's like, this is so much more than that, because we're digging into your soul, into whatever your personal belief system is, so we can find that mission. We can find that drive. We can find that energy that's going to make a difference in your life. And that's what's so important about what we're doing together. So again, what is metaphysics? It's this study of life, really, is what it is. It's the study of nature, of reality, of existence, and why we're here. And it can, why do we perceive things with our senses? And understanding that in the consciousness level can make us make the shifts in our life to really focus in on what brings us joy, right? And even more than happiness. We learned that in Second Mountain. But joy in our lives, and being able to remove distraction and find the things that are going to move the needle in our own lives to bring that joy. And even more than joy, let's take it one step further. For some of you that are my age, right, which we have a group of people that are, the influence factor. What are you going to leave to your kids? What are you going to leave to your children? What type of philosophy? What type of life? What kind of impact are you going to leave? What are you going to leave? What's going to be your mark on this world? That legacy word, which is so important. And that's why we're all doing this together. Okay, so let's get out there and have a fantastic day. Let's keep the energy going. Stay positive, right? But stay practical. Stay on your morning ritual, your morning routine, and don't be afraid to ask the deep questions. Because as we get into it deeper and deeper, you find your way, you elevate your consciousness, and you live your best life, and you leave an amazing legacy. That's what Morning Coach is all about. I love you. Get out there. Have a great one. Let's go do it to it. And I'll be back with more right here tomorrow on MorningCoach.com.